This is Talk City, a weekly podcast featuring interviews and events happening around town. Tune into Talk City Greensboro every week on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, and download the podcast from Soundcloud. Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by Greensboro Television Network. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and joining me in the studio, as always, is Mr. Devin Smith.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Greensboro?
What's up?
So Greensboro actually hosts an annual, a couple of 48-hour film projects as events, and this year's 48-hour horror film project, one of the Drama Center's pictures, which is a thing.
Yeah, it is the filmography video
of
branch of the Drama Center,
yes. Yeah. And they actually entered in and created a video, and
Here we go.
Yeah, this was a problem that we were having earlier. So Coulrophobia, which is a short film, and it actually received an award. It produced an award. And to join us talking about the project is Matt Ringrose, who wrote, recorded, and edited the project. And will you pronounce your name for me?
Maida Durrani.
Maida Durrani, the star actress of this project, is joining us to talk about this.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So first, a congratulations is in order because the honor that the project received was for the best actress. So Maida, thank you for joining us. Tell us about tell us about your role in the project and what it was like to win an award for your acting.
So my role in this project was the main character, who is Gina. Gina has a fear of clowns. She hates them very, very much. And at her, I believe, 30th birthday party, well, she is holding on to 29, a clown enters her party that her friends threw for her, and she gets extremely scared and throws herself into a closet. And that's how the story starts, and it goes on from there. It was my first time really doing something like this. I thought it was going to be way more stressful than it actually was. Yeah. It was a very calm environment. Everything was going quite smoothly. And overall, I definitely do want to do it again just because it was such an inviting and very familiar feeling just to be around, these people and reading my lines. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Well,
kudos to Matt if it was stress free for you.
That's how we get you.
Yeah, there you go.
The first one is stress free, and then we pull you in.
It's like, what happened?
Yeah, and if you so how can people see the film, the short film? What would they look up on YouTube to see it?
So Drama Center Pictures has a YouTube page, so you can look up Drama Center Pictures on YouTube, and they're public, and then you just search through the page and you can find Coulrophobia. You could also probably search YouTube for Coulrophobia and Drama Center Pictures, and then you'll get all of that together. And it's also, I think it's been linked to a couple of times on the City Arts Facebook page and the Drama Center Facebook page. The Drama Center Facebook page. So.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Well, Matt, I mean, you can. We already kind of summed the story up, and of course, we don't want to give too much away.
Right.
But kind of tell us where the idea came from for this story.
So,
do you suffer from coulrophobia?
So when I was a kid, there was this movie that came out called Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
I don't really suffer from coulrophobia, but clowns are creepy.
Yes.
And I think anybody who's ever seen the movie It would agree with me. But basically with 48, the story has to just come out of thin air, really, because with 48, you draw a genre that night. You have 2 days, starting at 7 o'clock on Friday until 7 o'clock on Sunday, to make a movie. And so you draw a genre, and then they give you a line that you have to include, and a character you have to include, and a prop you have to include. Mm-hmm. And the genres that we drew, our awesome director, Linda Veneris, who couldn't be here, but she drew... we got phobia and isolation was the first genre.
Oh, wow.
And then the second genre was found footage. And you can choose one or the other or do both. And we were just sitting here, we were arguing about, not arguing, but we were debating about which one we wanted to use. Because I thought found footage would be a little easier to use. And then she was like, well, what if we did something about a person who locks himself in a closet to get away from something else? And then clown came up, and then we were on the phone because she was coming back. I was set up starting to write.
Right. Yeah.
And so she got to the room, and I had already started writing, and Maida had already joined me. Maida actually helped on the story process.
Nice.
Okay.
So we had already started writing when Linda got there, and then it went from there, and it was a really quick writing process, and we decided we kind of wanted to go a different way. A lot of times, especially for the horror project, everybody tries to make these really serious horror films, and if you don't do it perfectly with a 5-minute, 4 to 7 minutes,
Yeah.
it can have the opposite effect of what you're looking for. So we decided to make it funny, and then at the end have kind of a punch that we hope plays off well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we went, and we're both high school theater teachers in Guilford County, so we both had access to a bunch of kids. And interestingly enough, it's funny, Maida talked about 30th birthday. We actually originally wrote, when I was writing it, I wrote it for a different performer in mind, but Maida was reading those lines when we were doing the read-through, and we were just like, well, it has to be Maida.
Yeah.
And then obviously we were vindicated by the award that Maida got.
Yeah.
We were proven right that it did have to be Maida.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were talking about kind of how the project works, and you mentioned that it was kind of a stress-free process, but will you kind of tell us what was kind of going through your mind as you were doing it, and then when you saw it for the last time before, like once it was complete?
Well, as I was doing it, I was kind of worried just because I've never been such a big fan of seeing my face on things. Whenever family videos, whenever I watch them, I'd kind of turn away whenever I was in front of the camera. But doing this, it was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it was such a warm and comforting environment that, like, it was really easy for me to look at these lines and be like, I can do this. And I knew that even if I did mess up, we could fix it. It wasn't like when I'm in theater and I do something on stage, if I mess up, that's it. I have to keep moving. But with filming, it's easier because you can cut it out, you can edit it out, you can do a different try of the scene where, you don't fall off of the suitcase and hurt your back, which happened. But it was really fun. And then, finally seeing it all come together and seeing it on the screen, it was a really special moment for me because I've never really been a part of something like that. And it was nice to be able to see something and, like, truly, truly be proud of it.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
Well, I'm glad that you found a closet, which, it could have also been called claustrophobia.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys kind of hit two phobias with that one.
Right.
Maida, how long have you been doing stage theater?
Stage theater, like a year.
Okay.
I started freshman year. I'm a sophomore now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
but
you're already winning, big awards.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'd like to credit her theater teacher for that. That's
him.
me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
That was a joke that did not land at all.
Well, I got it.
Okay.
It hit home. So, do you think this kind of helps Todd Fisher, who is the director of the Drama Center, with kind of bringing in new members, new casting members, getting more involvement with the community, with something that's getting attention being attached to the Drama Center name?
I hope so, especially, because, I work at the Drama Center also. I run the Drama Center Pictures program, and I hope that this does help. And, yeah, I think so, because anytime you have something that gets attention, I think that that's always a good thing, as long as you're definitely promoting that and saying, hey, look at this awesome thing that we did, that we've been able to do. and the more projects that we do. I'm still working on the editing phase, but we've recently worked on a kind of a web series that we've been developing that another student, not one of my students, but a student with the program wrote, and that, we filmed it over the summer, and we're in the editing process now of getting that out. And I think that having these projects come in on top of each other will only help with that. And we got a lot of attention with that, and we got a lot of participation in that, even out of town participation. And I think because we keep doing these projects and whatnot, it is helping get the word out about us. And I think that this award, having an award-winning film will only help get us more attention.
Yeah.
So, because we can actually say that, it's an award-winning film, which is really awesome and kind of surreal at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think it also, there's a lot of credit that should be given, because you can't overstate, like, for people who know what the 48-Hour Film Festival is, they know. But for folks who maybe haven't produced or haven't done it, this is, like you said at the beginning of the podcast, this is writing, this is shooting, this is editing, all within like a weekend, not even an entire weekend, right? So to get Best Picture, Best Actress with that kind of time crunch, that's impressive. I mean, just coming out of the gate, sometimes it's like, are we even going to finish this film?
Yeah. And there are also some there are people who do this for a living that's not like, oh, this is just something fun that we should do. This is a project that'll help us hone our skill. No, they're there to really
throw down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there are definitely some professionals who work on 48, and you look at those films and you go, oh, well, that's nice.
It's definitely an honor, and I mean, I definitely wish you the most of luck going forward in your career, because I mean, I know this is a big thing, really kicking it off with a bang, and I know as a teacher you're the proudest.
Oh, I am. I was. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to be there at the award ceremony because it happened so late at night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So when they called her name, Linda and I just were beaming. We were so excited, and it really was a smooth process. But that's not normal. She talks about how stress free it was. That's not normal. The first 48 that I ran was a train wreck, and I didn't think I was going to get the film in on time. We made it with just a couple of minutes to spare. So, because it can be a very stressful environment, but for whatever reason, all the pieces fell together on this one, and it was really awesome. And a lot of that credit does need to go to Linda, because she ran a very, very, it was a very smooth ship. She ran a tight ship, but it was a very smooth ship, and she knew what she wanted to see, and it just came together really well.
Yeah, Linda had everything under control. It was really fun to see her just like be in her habitat where she knew where everything was supposed to be. And it was my first time working with her, and I'm really glad that I got to meet her, because she really is a wonderful person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming and sharing all this good information. And so one last time, where can people go find this on YouTube, as what to search on YouTube, as well as you can search it on the City Arts and Drama Center page?
Okay, the title of the film, once again, is Coulrophobia, Coulrophobia, which is the fear of clowns, Coulrophobia. And it's on the Drama Center Pictures YouTube page, so you can search YouTube for Drama Center Pictures and Coulrophobia. And then also it should be on the City Arts page and the Drama Center Pictures, Drama Center's page, and the Drama Center Pictures page on Facebook.
All right, people, go check it out.
Yeah, it's great. We've seen it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming. And we can't wait to see you in something else.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully.
keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
Thank you so much.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget you can download Talk City from SoundCloud.
That's all we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to Talk City. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13,
AT&T U-verse Channel 99,
North State Channel 31,
and GTN also streams live on the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov.
Have a good one.